Window World has delivered music, moments, and memories to thousands. Join us April 27th through the 30th as some of Roots Music's greatest stars gather to perform across 13 stages at this annual musical homecoming. Hear Zach Brown Band, the Avett Brothers, Marty Stewart, Del McCurry, Leftover Salmon, Sam Bush, Deep Canyon Rangers, Natalie McMaster, and Donna Leahy, the Kruger Brothers, Mandolin Orange, and more. Experience all that MerleFest has to offer. See a complete lineup and get your tickets today at merlefest.org.
I hear you have a new job.
You bet. More opportunity and more pay.
Really?
Went online to ncjobsnow.com. There were hundreds of jobs listed from all across North Carolina. I found one that was just right for me.
If you find something interesting, how do you apply?
You can call the employer or you can submit your application online.
What if I'm interested in just posting my resume?
You can do that too. All you need to know is right there on the site, and it's available to participating employers.
It's North Carolina's best source for job listings statewide. ncjobsnow.com.
Wake County schools are installing cameras around 80 buses during spring break. Driver Kendra Galloway tells WTVD the cameras will make her feel like someone has her back.
I think it's going to be a big plus because it'll eliminate a bunch of he said, she said stuff, because a lot of times the children are saying the bus drivers do this, that, and the other to the third, and they're not. And then, there's a lot of things going on the bus that we need to be watching the road.
The cameras will go inside the buses to monitor student conduct. Some of them will also be mounted on the outside of the buses. New video shows United Express passenger David Dow refusing to give up his seat Sunday evening on an oversold flight from Chicago to Louisville. CBS News correspondent Don Champion reports United CEO Oscar Munoz has issued yet another letter about that incident.
After accusing the passenger of being disruptive and belligerent in an initial letter to his employees, United CEO Oscar Munoz delivered a second message saying, "I'm sorry, we will fix this." He called it a truly horrific event and apologized to the customer. Online, thousands have signed a petition calling on United's CEO to step down. Passengers we spoke to say long simmering frustrations with airlines have only made fallout from this controversy worse.
Bill O'Reilly taking some time off as we hear from Mike Gracia.
Bill O'Reilly is taking a break. The embattled Fox News Channel host told his viewers Tuesday night he's going on vacation, saying everyone needs a little R&R. Sponsors have been bailing out on O'Reilly's Fox News Channel show in the wake of harassment allegations against him. About 60 companies said they won't advertise on his show. The New York Times recently reported that 5 women were paid a total of $13 million to keep quiet about harassment allegations. O'Reilly told his viewers he usually takes a break around this time.
Tony Rixby ends.
Get your message to the thousands. Call the WCAB sales department today at 287-3356.
From ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. The CEO of United Airlines tells ABC News in an exclusive interview, "This is not who we are." Oscar Munoz once again apologizing and promising a thorough review of the company's overbooking policies. All of this following the video of that paying passenger being pulled off a flight to make room for United crew members. Here's ABC's Brad Milkey.
After pinning the blame on what he called a belligerent passenger, United CEO Oscar Munoz is now more contrite.
The word ashamed comes to mind.
Telling ABC Chief Business and Economics correspondent Rebecca Jarvis that he bungled the message.
You saw us at a bad moment.
And that changes to their policies are on the way, especially for bumping passengers once they're on board.
Based on the amount of money that United is offering,
we are not going to put a law enforcement official to take them off.
Brad Milkey, ABC News.
That whole interview airing on Good Morning America. As Secretary of State Rex Tillerson sits down for talks with his Russian counterpart in Moscow, the U.S. puts Russia on notice. The discussion needs to be a frank one.
The White House is accusing the Kremlin of engaging in a full-scale and deliberate cover-up of that deadly chemical weapons attack in Syria, as Russia continues to deny that the Syrian government of Bashar al-Assad was behind the attack, leading Secretary of State Rex Tillerson to say that he hopes to further clarify areas of sharp difference. Tillerson's also said he's open to meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin as well, as the two have a long-standing history together. Maggie Rulli, ABC News, Washington.
It was a race that was a lot closer than most people thought it would be, but in the end, Republican Ron Estes won the congressional seat left by Republican Mike Pompeo when he became CIA director. Estes thanked voters afterwards.
It was really invigorating as we saw the vote and the totals, and we recognize that people put their vote on the line, and they want us to represent them.
Candlelight vigil last night in San Bernardino, California, for the teacher and the student shot and killed by the teacher's estranged husband earlier this week. You're listening to ABC News.
We hadn't talked. We didn't want to touch. I mean, we didn't feel close in years. But Marriage Fitness turned our marriage around. Thank you so much, Mort.
Counseling was just a weekly blame fest. It drained us emotionally and financially. Marriage Fitness is totally different. This program actually works.
Hello, I'm Mort Fertel, creator of Marriage Fitness, the revolutionary clinically proven program that will save your marriage. This is not marriage counseling. You don't have to dig into your past or dredge up your problems. Instead, you'll use a step-by-step system of positive relationship habits that will transform your marriage.
My husband wanted out and wouldn't go for help. I started Marriage Fitness alone. Now he wants back in, and we're doing the program together. Mort, you're the best.
Start with Mort's free report, 7 Secrets to Fixing Your Marriage, at marriage180.com. You'll also get 5 free marriage assessments. There are no strings attached. Get the free Fix Your Marriage report and the free assessments at marriage180.com. marriage180.com.
Chinese President Xi Jinping telling President Trump in a phone call that Beijing is willing to work with Washington on ending North Korea's nuclear weapons program if the solution is a peaceful one. Information on the phone call coming from the Chinese Foreign Ministry. German police have arrested a Syrian man suspected of joining the extremist groups. They believe he tried to recruit refugees for ISIS in Greek camps for extremist cells in Europe. A lot of people are still into home flipping despite all the stories about how it's gone wrong for many. ABC's Daria Albinger says if you're thinking of doing it, you might want to get some help from an expert.
Michelle Harrington with Chestnut Street Design in New Paltz, New York says that cute little home you think needs some TLC may need a whole lot more.
Outline the scope of work that you're looking to tackle, because I think some people take on one project and they start that one project and it opens up to a million little projects that kind of gets overwhelming.
Before you close, get a home inspection and be realistic. If you can't do the work, get a pro to do it. And if you can't afford to pay the pro, well, maybe then it's not the right home for you. Daria Albinger, ABC News.
Imagine this when you go to a hotel, a nice one, a Residence Inn in Worcester, Massachusetts. You open up the door to put your clothes in, and you see a python, a big one, 5 feet long. They think the snake's owner had checked out the previous day and simply forgot it or left it on purpose. Anyway, the staff's okay, the snake's okay, carry on. This is ABC News.
Here's a special message for those of you who owe the IRS at least $10,000 or more in back taxes. The IRS has special programs in place that could eliminate or reduce your tax debt by thousands of dollars. With a call to National Tax Helpline, you can stop the wage garnishments, levies, and tax liens. Take down the number now for the Tax Helpline. 800-425-6280. That's 800-425-6280 for free information. That's 800-425-6280.
I'm Sherry Preston, ABC News.
Our cold front's moving on by later this afternoon, so we do have the possibility for a shower more likely toward our southern counties. We'll go partly to perhaps at times mostly cloudy. It's warm. The high temperature in the upper 70s to about 80 degrees. Behind the front tonight, mostly clear. It's cooler, and with the low humidity, the temperature should fall into the low to mid-50s. Some morning clouds on Thursday. It's mostly sunny in the afternoon. It's less humid and cooler. The high temperature in the low to mid-70s, still comfortable for Friday. I'm Mike Mays in the North Carolina News Network Weather Center.
Thank you very much, Mike Mays. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to this wonderful Wednesday morning. It is 7:05. We're 59 degrees and getting up to about 79 for our daytime high with a 20% possibility of some afternoon showers, possibly some thunder bumpers in there, but nothing major. And then working toward the weekend, looks like Good Friday is going to be about 79, almost 80 for our high, with a 20% chance of precipitation Friday and Friday night. Pretty clear on Saturday, no rain in that forecast, but on Easter Sunday, partly cloudy. We may have some isolated showers developing in the afternoon with highs up around 81. Beautiful, sunny, warm day on Easter Sunday morning, a 20% chance of precipitation. Then on Monday, we have another 20% chance, and Monday night, Tuesday, looks like the same forecast, 20% chance of isolated showers. So nothing major, pretty good weather for the Easter weekend. There may be a slight shower here or down, but when they call it isolated, it means it's going to be isolated in some areas. Some sections may not get any at all, so we're not expecting a washout at all for the Easter weekend. So that should be pretty encouraging for us. We're being kind today to Herman Hensley. He lives in Ruth, turns 80, had a birthday yesterday. I want to wish him a happy, happy birthday today. Now I have these death announcements. Mrs. Bertha Melton McCurry, 97, of Charlotte, died Tuesday at Presbyterian Medical Center in Charlotte. Those arrangements are incomplete and will be announced later by Washburn and Dorsey Funeral and Cremation Services. Again, that's Mrs. Bertha Melton McCurry of Charlotte. George William G.W. Jones, Sr., age 84, of Ellenboro, died Sunday at Fairhaven of Forest City. Funeral services will be held at 2 o'clock today in the Corinth Baptist Church with Reverend Mike Connor and Reverend Ed Hopper officiating. Burial will follow in the church cemetery with military honors accorded by the Rutherford County Honor Guard. The Paget King Mortuary is in charge of the arrangements. An online guest registry available at www.pagetking.com for George William G.W. Jones, Sr. Verlin Tessinier, age 87, of the Bills Creek community, passed away Monday at White Oak Manor. Funeral services are scheduled for 2 p.m. Thursday at Bills Creek Baptist Church with Reverend Kelly Luckadoo officiating. Burial will follow in the church cemetery. The family will receive friends from 1 until 2 o'clock Thursday prior to the service. Crow's Mortuary and Crematory, serving the family of Verlin Tessinier, and the website is www.crowsmortuary.com for your condolences. Those are the death announcements we have this morning in-house. The complete information on these and others as they become available to us can be heard today at 11:35 and then again at 5:10 as part of the afternoon report here on WCAB in Rutherford. Well, the Farmers Market, Rutherford County Farmers Market, is scheduled to open this week. They're calling for vendors. If you have cut flowers, collards, pasture-raised pork, and you're invited to participate in the permanent facility in downtown Forest City Saturday mornings. If you need more information on this, call Cherie Crenshaw, and that phone number is 287-6080, 287-6080. Your opportunity to be a part of that and sell some of your goods. Isothermal Community College has begun registering new students for summer 2017 and fall 2017 semesters on April 6th at the main campus in Spindale. This registration will continue through April 28th. So if you're interested in going back to school this summer or this fall, be sure to contact them over at Isothermal Community College and get some learning. Braves lost last night to the Marlins, 8-4. Marlins 8, Braves 4. They'll be playing again this evening. We'll join that pregame following News 13 at 6.
How's this for Sanctuary City outreach? New York City provides IDs for anybody who wants one, even if they are illegal immigrants. So now New York wants to destroy the documents that people use to apply for the IDs in order to keep the information from President Trump. 2 members of the New York Assembly took the city to court to prevent them from destroying these documents. But last week, a state Supreme Court Justice, Philip Minardo, sided with the city. The judge said the personal documents could be destroyed. The decision is expected to be appealed. New York City's mayor, Bill de Blasio, hailed the ruling. He claims it'll protect the personal information of, get this, 1 million people in the city, and he vows to fight any appeal. Now, 16 years ago, a stone's throw away from City Hall, Islamic terrorists flew 2 hijacked planes into the World Trade Center. Afterward, we were told that law enforcement and intelligence services must connect the dots to avoid future attacks. Now we have liberal Democrats, including an out-of-control mayor, doing their best to destroy the very dots of 1 million people, all so they can pander to people here illegally and get their votes. It's beyond idiocy. It's lunacy, which means it's typical for today's Democrat Party. In other words, folks, it's what we always say it is. It's liberalism. You just better accept it. This is going to sound like a horror story, but for some people, it's a reality. Imagine, you head to the mailbox after doing your taxes. You reach in, you think you're going to get your tax refund, only to find that somebody's already filed and gotten your return. Identity thieves can use your personal information to file for your refund or commit other forms of ID theft. Now, last year, the IRS identified approximately $4.1 billion in suspected tax refund fraud due to ID theft. Now, thankfully, there's LifeLock. With LifeLock, you have access to a team of U.S.-based specialists who know the steps to take to fix identity issues, whether it happens during tax season or any other time. Of course, no one can prevent all identity theft or monitor all transactions at all businesses, but nobody is better than LifeLock. Join now and get 10% off when you visit LifeLock.com/rush. That's LifeLock.com/rush or call 1-800-440-4833 and use the promo code RUSH.
From the county seat of Rutherford County to the foothills of the Carolinas, we are 50 years strong and still kicking.
Join WCAB this Easter weekend as we bring you a very special local group called the Piney Mountain Boys. Now, the members of the group are 9 and 10 years old. They sing and even play their own instruments. You may remember hearing the Piney Mountain Boys Christmas here on WCAB, and you can enjoy their inspirational Easter program this weekend, starting Good Friday at 11:05, Saturday at 12 noon, and then Sunday at 12:30. The Piney Mountain Boys Easter Special, brought to you by the Carpet Barn, starting Good Friday at 11:05, Saturday at noon, and Sunday at 12:30. Here on AM 59 WCAB Rutherfordton.
Here's what our customers think about McCurry Deck Chevrolet Buick GMC.
I love my McCurry Deck Buick.
I love my McCurry Deck Chevrolet.
We love our McCurry Deck GMC. We guarantee you'll love McCurry Deck Chevrolet Buick GMC for city.
I am definitely a McCurry Deck customer for life.
I love the price and the McCurry Deck Customer for Life Rewards program. It gives you up to $3,000 or more in rewards.
Take the easy drive to savings. McCurry Deck for a city. Discover the rewards of being a customer for life.
13 minutes after 7 o'clock, we'll get to the phones here in a few moments. But if you're starting out in your own business or you're expanding or you need an office of your own, why don't you check with Southern Carpet? They've got an office building there beside of them, between them and Miracle-Ear. And boy, it's a nice office. It's just perfect for one or two person office with a secretary maybe and the insurance man or whatever you happen to have. Check with that office space there at Southern Carpet. And if you're looking for carpet and floor covering, why not check with them for that as well? Nothing compares to their personalized in-store attention you get each and every time you walk through the doors of Southern Carpet. Saw them in action yesterday. Phone them at 245-0310, 245-0310. You'll find them at 1512 West Main Street, right across from North State Gas Company.
Because of religious persecution, Brigham Young and his Mormon believers left the Midwest and settled in the territory of Utah. In order to make sure they would no longer suffer at the hands of the Gentiles, he decided to make Utah an independent nation. The United States wasn't about to let that happen. So in 1859, President James Buchanan sent 2,500 troops to Salt Lake City. The object was to support the new non-Mormon governor, Alfred Cummings. However, there were two problems. The first was that Brigham Young didn't trust the government. The second, President Buchanan didn't fully inform Brigham Young of his intentions. With the impending invasion, rumors flourished. One was that it was not an army coming, but a civilian mob similar to the one that chased them out of Illinois and Missouri. Young chose a scorched earth policy as defense. All the area east of Salt Lake City was burned. The Army had to spend a cold winter in the burnt rubble of Fort Bridger. By spring, Young was ready for peace, but he was still distrustful of the government. Therefore, he ordered the 30,000 residents of Salt Lake City to leave. When the new governor arrived in Salt Lake City on April 12, 1858, the town was deserted. Young relinquished the governorship and all his duties. Cummings, in turn, gave all Utah residents a blanket pardon for any involvement in the conflict. Gradually, the refugees began returning to their homes, but tensions between the Mormons and the federal government continued for years. You've just heard another story from Chronicle of the Old West. I'm Dakota Livesay.
We are being kind today to Herman Hensley. Herman lives in Ruth. He turned 80 yesterday. We're celebrating his birthday today, so be kind to Herman Hensley today when you see him. Now we're heading to the phones and get started with finding out what's been happening in the past 24 hours. And Deputy Chapman is on the phone from the Sheriff's Department right now to get us updated. Good morning. How you doing?
I'm doing all right, Jim. How are you this morning?
I'm feeling pretty good for a Wednesday morning.
Good deal.
What's on the report today?
Well, in the past 24 hours, the Rutherford County Sheriff's Office has responded to 192 calls, made 15 arrests, and currently have 211 incarcerated in the county jail. By way of incident reports, we have a Mr. Robert Lane of Forest City reported an instance of felony B&E and larceny after B&E. A Cassidy Michelle Piercy reported of Ellenboro reported an instance of felony B&E, larceny after B&E. Hardin's Drug number 2 on 221A in Forest City reported an instance of obtaining controlled substance by fraud. Mr. Ray Dean Van Dyke of Bostic reported an instance of larceny motor vehicle. Mr. Linda Johnson White of Forest City reported an instance of damage to personal property. Drop-in number 7 on 221A, Forest City, reported an instance of obtaining property by false pretense. Sunrise Development in Ellenboro reported an instance of breaking or B&E to a motor vehicle and larceny from a vehicle. Michael Gene Green, Bostic, reported an instance of felony larceny. Looks like a Honda four-wheeler was taken from his residence. Nancy Munn of Forest City reported an instance of misdemeanor larceny. And Joanne Brooks of Bostic reported an instance of felony B&E and larceny after B&E. Looks like some antique farm equipment was taken from her residence. On our arrest reports, we have a Michael Dylan Tony of Cuddles Lane in Bostic, charged with 1 count of driving while license revoked and 1 count of fictitious info to officer. So he was placed on a $500 unsecured bond. Brandon Eugene Branch, Newhouse Road in Ellenboro, was charged with, so he was served with a child support warrant, $400 bond. And Ronald Dale O'Connor, Oakland Road in Forest City, was served with true bill of indictments for felony larceny, possession of stolen goods, and habitual felon. So he was given a $10,000 secured bond. And that's all we got this morning, Jim.
Deputy Chapman, we do appreciate it. You do a good job on that report. I appreciate you being willing to do that, and we'll check in with you guys next time.
All righty, sounds good. And you have a good day.
Be safe out there.
All right.
Bye-bye. Deputy Chapman reporting in this morning, 20 minutes after 7 o'clock. Now, the Forest City Police yesterday responded to a call at 207 East Spruce Street in reference to the larceny of a motor vehicle. The car is a green 2000 Mazda Protege with a tag number of E. Edward B. Boy F. Frank 6190. The suspect is a black male wearing a gray shirt and blue jeans. If you have any information on the vehicle's location of the suspect, please dial 111 or contact the Forest City Police Department at 245-5555. Now here is Stacy with the report from 911 Communications Center. Stacy, good morning.
Good morning.
What's on the report?
In the past 24 hours, the Rutherford County Sheriff's Office 911 Communications Centers processed 579 911 and administrative calls, which consist of 58 EMS calls, 19 for rescue. At Law Enforcement Sheriff's Office 192, Forest City 96, Rutherford 22, Leavenworth 13, and Spindale 72. Under fire calls, dispatched Cherry Mountain to a structure fire assisted by Bostic and Hudlow, Ellenboro to a structure fire assisted by Cliffside and Sandy Mush, Lake Lure to a motor vehicle accident, Forest City, or correction, Rutherford to a motor vehicle accident, SDO to 2 motor vehicle accidents, Spindale to a motor vehicle accident, and Sandy Mush to a motor vehicle accident. That's all we have.
Thanks so much. Have a great day.
All right, you too.
All right, bye.
The Recliner Center is happy to introduce new styles of Spring Air mattresses. Some come with the cool gel that you're going to love. Remember the days when you could flip your mattress? Well, Spring Air is now offering the flippable mattress. Check out these for a really great night's sleep. The Recliner Center is needing to make room for some new styles of lift chairs, recliners, and sofas, and you're going to get some special deals on the floor models and extra inventory in the store. Now, you always know you get the best deals in town at the Recliner Center, and now's the best time to go shopping. Check on the inventory of new recliners, sofas, and lift chairs coming in. Now, some of the styles have a new water-repellent fabric. Water beads up instead of soaking into the fabric. Leave it to the Recliner Center to offer you the best choices and best prices. Ask to see the new wall hugger style furniture. Hours are Wednesday through Friday 9 to 5 and Saturday 9 to 2. The Recliner Center on Cooper's Gap Road in Rutherfordton.
Now, the Shiloh, Danieltown, Oakland Fire District is where we're stopping next, and Ruby Taylor has the report for us today. Good morning, Ruby.
Good morning.
What's on your report?
Well, the fire department had 2 vehicle accidents, and on my birthday calendar today, I've got Ann Doggett, Lois Doggett, Bill Sutherland, Kirk Wilkerson, and Brandon Bright having birthdays, and hope these people have a nice day. Signs in the secrets today and tomorrow, and that's all I've got.
Hope you have a nice day, Ruby, and I'll see you next time.
Okay, you too.
Bye. 23 past the hour is 7 o'clock. You know, some folks don't like to admit when it gets to the point they begin to lose a hearing. But, you know, it's more embarrassing to have a hearing loss and doing nothing about it than have an instrument that can help you hear. Those instruments are so small anymore, you hardly know they're there. And Miracle Ear is doing a wonderful job helping folks like that with a hearing. Why don't you contact Lisa Terry? She's fantastic in her communications with their clients, and she'd love to be able to answer your questions. She got a free hearing test she'll administer also to you. If you wonder which ear, if both ears, or how serious is it, let that hearing test be an example for you. Schedule your free hearing test. Call Lisa Terry today in Forest City at 368-4126, or over in Shelby at 704-750-0215. Learn more about the miracle that's in Miracle Ear.
Keeping your car running clean during these cold months is important to the life of the vehicle. RS Speedy Lube makes it easy to do that. Keep your car or truck running clean with a regular oil change. They check the fluids and vacuum out the car at the same time. If you need radiator or transmission flush, brake check, exhaust, CV joints, and service for big trucks and campers, just pull next door. Get the car cleaned with the RS Speedy Automatic Car Wash. RS Speedy Lube Service Center is a complete service center inside, outside, and down under Railroad Avenue, Rutherfordton.
Now here is Steve up at Rumbling Ball this morning to give us a report. Steve, I hear you were a big hit yesterday at the bridge.
Well, I was trying to just have a little fun, and I think a lot of folks came out and had some fun with me, and a lot of good conversation, made some new friends.
Good.
I could tell a few folks from the radio station that heard it on the radio station came out, so
good.
Thank you for that.
We certainly had a beautiful day for it.
Oh, it was. It was a good experience, and I learned a few things, so, it was a win-win for everybody.
Good.
So I can run with that.
Yeah, man. You'll be invited to other places, I'm sure, after that, and speak to some folks.
My wife invited me to do some chores after we got home.
It always humbles you back down when you've done something like that and get home, doesn't it?
Oh, it was a great day. I had the day off, and then I worked out in the garden. But that's another thing. I got an announcement to make. This Saturday, April 15th, a day that a lot of folks it kind of gets their attention. April 15th.
Yes.
Bills Creek is participating in the yard sale on the trail, and their fire department's up here on Bills Creek Road near Buffalo Creek Road, and they got a sausage biscuit and breakfast, and it's from 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. So they're going to be out there quite a while, and they're going to have lunch as well. So hot dog and fries. In fact, my partner here is going to be cooking the fries. So it's a yard sale. They do that once a year. A lot of fire departments participate. It's along 6474. I'm not sure who else is participating, but I just know it's been a popular event in the past, and that's why it's year after year.
It's a good event.
Yeah, so there's a lot of folks that like to go out there and do the yard sales and find good things to refurbish, and my wife does that, and she has fun with it.
Good.
So, but it's been pretty quiet here in terms of activity. I've been told that the fire department's been quiet, so that's good. They didn't have to make any emergency runs.
Are you hearing any late news about the fire up in McDowell County that seems to be sweeping pretty widespread up there?
That's what I was smelling this morning.
Yeah.
Okay, I walked outside of my back porch this morning. I said, "What is that? Where's that come from?" You just told me. No, I haven't. This is the first I've learned of it. I guess I've been oblivious, doing my garden work and kind of not staying in tune with what's going on as of yesterday. So, but no, I haven't heard anything in regards to it.
Have done some evacuation. Lake James Lodge and assisted living facilities there in McDowell have been evacuated overnight. So they are clearing out people in some areas because it seems to be spreading a little bit.
Ooh, I hope they don't have the same issues we had last fall. Hope they get that thing handled pretty quickly because of well, it was a 21-day event for us last year, so we don't need any more of that around here for a while.
Absolutely.
We've had our share.
Absolutely. Listen, keep up the good work up there, and we'll talk to you again real soon.
Okay, thanks, Jim.
Thanks, Steve. Bye-bye. That's Rumbling Ball overlooking beautiful Lake Lure this morning with our report, and we'll get to the next phone call in just a moment.
Stop into Save-A-Lot Grocery and save big money every day. Choose from a variety of name brand merchandise at incredible low prices. Save big on fresh meats, vegetables, pastries, frozen foods, deli items, and so much more. They are located in the White Oaks Plaza in Spindale. Hours are Monday through Saturday, 8 a.m. until 9 p.m. and Sunday, 10 a.m. until 8 p.m. That's Save-A-Lot Grocery Store in the White Oaks Plaza in Spindale.
Bob Hodge is up next. He's overlooking things for us around the Hudlow Volunteer Fire District, the Mount Vernon community. Bob, good morning.
Well, good hump day morning.
Yes. Well, we're narrowing on down to April 15th, tax day.
It's going downhill from here, ain't it?
Fortunately, we have until the 18th to get it in since Monday is considered a holiday, Easter Monday. So the tax IRS folks are letting us wait till file it by Tuesday. We're okay.
So you got another extra day there.
Yep. I worked on mine over the weekend, and boy, am I depressed.
Oh, man. Well, it'll all work out maybe there. Oh. Well, Jim, up here with the fire department, let's see, yesterday we did send a couple of men to help on that McDowell County fire up there on the mountain. And then we had a brush fire at 64 in Camp Creek Road. And then we assisted Cherry Mountain boasted on a house fire on Whiteside Road. And a couple of medical calls. So the fire department's been fairly busy there. We awful dry, so them fires are getting out easy there.
Latest report I had is that McDowell County wildfire has threatened 35 homes and is spread to 350 acres up there. And as I mentioned a moment ago, they have evacuated some rest homes and other facilities, so they're watching that very, very carefully.
I was looking this morning, said now it's spread to about 550 acres.
So it's increased then.
And 10% contained, so it ain't much contained yet there, so maybe they'll get a hand on it today there, but...
Well, if the wind will stay like it is now, when that wind was gusting so bad over the weekend, it was kind of tough to deal with.
Yes, that's true there, yeah. Yeah, that wind really makes a big problem there, like that, but it's dry on top of the ground there and everything, but generally when things start greening out, we don't have that many fires, but right now it's been dry, windy. That wind dries the top of the drown out so fast. They're easy to get started, but in the summertime, it's real hard fighting them woods fire because it gets hot. Like yesterday, but in the fall of the year and winter, it's bad enough the way it is, but it gets hot. You get an old pine thicket, boy, it is hot there.
Boy, not much air going through there either.
No, that's right there. It's tough on them firemen. They can't last out there too long. They got to start switching around, and new people come in pretty often, and let some rest. So.
But the North Carolina Department of Environmental Quality in Raleigh has issued a Code Orange air quality action for all of us in this western part of the state. It's pretty much statewide, as well as upstate South Carolina, and so the air quality alert is in effect through April 13th, which is tomorrow.
Yes, well, I tell you what, you get out there, that old pollen and stuff blowing around. I got in my truck yesterday, and it was green on the hood. It's supposed to be red, but it's turned green on me there. But that stuff is flying around out there, so
yes, it is.
Air quality is pretty bad right now. But Jim, that's about it up here on this Wednesday morning there so far, and you take care and have a good day, and I'll be talking to you in the morning.
Thanks, Bob. I hope you have a great day, too. Thanks for the report, and we'll be in touch.
Okay,
Thanks.
bye-bye.
Bye. Hello, volunteer department up there. Well, if you'd like to win a Mary Tiller, the place to go to win it is Farmer's Friend, Feed, Seed, and Supplies. They're going to be giving this away April the 26th, right here on the radio, here on the morning show, and we'll be happy to do that. So get your name in the box over there, and they'll be George loves to give these things away, and he's doing another one. So if you'll stop over by there, you don't have to buy anything to register, but he would like you to look around. They got a lot of new and used farm equipment in stock. They got seed potatoes in stock, onion sets, and more. You got scratch feed, 50-pound bag, $9.50. Layer crumble, 50-pound bag, $10.50. New Point fertilizer spreaders is $4.50. And chicks are here. Go in there, you hear little chickadees and those chicks and just a chirping. If you're interested in some chicks, they've got them there. Farmer's Friend, Feed, Seed, and Supplies. And they're open Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 5:30. On Saturdays, 7:30 until 2. If you want to call them, the phone number is 287-3272. That's Farmer's Friend, right across the road here from WCAB. Now we're going over to Cherry Mountain Fire District. That's a beautiful part of our county. And Sue Price is there to give us an update on what's been happening over there. Sue, good morning.
Good morning, Jim. It's a nice morning over here.
Yeah, it's a beautiful morning. Great getting up morning here in the foothills.
Started out at 54 degrees, so it's going to be another warm day. Yesterday got pretty warm. Well, let's see, the fire department had one house fire, and appreciate Hudlow, and I think Ellenborough helped on that. Got one birthday on my calendar, Lauren Spike-Leather, so I hope she'll have a good day today. And nothing on Fairviews and nothing on First Broads, so not too many celebrating. And in my announcements, the Duncans Creek Presbyterian Church will be having a Good Friday service at noon, and then our Easter sunrise service starts at 7 and breakfast to follow. And Fairview will be having a egg hunt for the children on Saturday. That starts at 11 a.m. And then sunrise service at 6:30 with breakfast to follow, and no evening services. And First Broad Baptist will be having their sunrise service at 7 with breakfast, and then Sunday school at 9:30 and Easter musical at 10:30, and no evening service. And tonight is the last night for the revival up at Mount Pleasant Baptist Church, and that's on Briar Creek up in beautiful Golden Valley, and the service starts at 7 p.m. Pastor Aaron Cosby from Connolly Springs Free Will Baptist Church is doing the service. A benefit singing coming up, that's April 29th at 6:30 at the First Broad Baptist Church, and it's for two of the church families, so come on out and help out if you can. And the Golden Valley Crusaders will be singing, so good singing coming up the first broad. And so far, that's the only announcements I have, Jim. It's just quiet and calm over this way and looking for a good day, and I hope you'll have one.
Richard doing all right?
He's doing pretty good, yeah.
Good.
We're getting along pretty good.
Good. Y'all keep up the good work over there, and we'll talk to you again next time.
Okay.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. 7:37. The Braves had another defeat last night with the Marlins. Marlins 8, Braves 4. They're going to get their mojo going here, hopefully, for too long. They will be playing again this evening. The Marlins and the Braves will join that pregame following News 13. They have the pregame, and then they'll get into the game a little after 7, probably. The Braves are off on Thursday to hopefully get their mojo back in style and take on a series with the Padres. We'll have all that action, Braves action, throughout the summer. Plus, we're going to be adding some Forest City Owls games this year to our broadcast. So we'll tell you more about that as it gets in closer to the Owls. And I understand, if I'm not mistaken, the Owls are still looking for some homes to house a player or two. So if you have the facility and you'd like to house one of these college students during the season, they certainly would like for you to do that. Just get in touch with them there at the office, and they'll make arrangements to get that done. Folks who have done that in the past have been very pleased with those young guys. They're top-of-the-line college students, just looking for a place to sleep, basically. And if you could accommodate the Owls players for the summer, those few months, just let them know. 38 minutes past 7 o'clock. We'll get to the next phone call in just a moment.
I've been waiting for the plumber all day.
You should have called Olmsted Plumbing. Ask around. Homeowners, builders, tradesmen all recommend Eric and Chad Olmsted and their professional team. They understand the homeowner's needs, and with decades of experience and continuous training, Olmsted Plumbing can fix your plumbing problem and have you happy again. They have an inventory of replacement parts and all the specialized equipment and tools for any job, and they're ready to serve your plumbing needs. They come highly recommended.
Give me that number.
It's 245-7302.
245-7302.
That's it, Olmsted Plumbing. All right, let's head up toward Union Mills now, in upstate Union Mills, to get the Kelly report from Miss Brenda. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you on this wonderful Wednesday?
I'm wonderful.
It's a nice day in the neighborhood, isn't it?
It is a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
Even though you're depressed.
I tell you, it comes every year.
I know it does, yeah, but
we know it's coming, but we're never quite ready for it.
That's it. But it'll be over with before you know it. That's just like having a baby. It'll be over with before you know it.
It's about as much pain, too, I think.
But we hope everybody's having a good day today. And, boy, that fire up in McDowell County is terrible, isn't it?
Well, I tell you, they just keep getting hit all the time, don't they?
Yeah. My sister that lives down in Bessemer City called me yesterday because she thought it might be close to me and Martha, my other sister. And I said, no, it's up at North Cove, up past Baxter's and that way. She said, oh, then I won't worry about y'all then. But they said they told down there on Channel 3 News at Charlotte that it was a suspicious fire.
They are doing some thorough investigation on that. They're not sure exactly, but it does look kind of suspicious. But they're fighting it pretty strong right now. 550 acres, I believe it is.
Yeah, and they said it was a fast-spreading fire.
Right,
yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But we hope they soon get it under control and that nobody loses their home or life or anything like that. That would be terrible.
Well, those folks who have lost their home, because if I can understand this, but it must be a terrible, terrible thought to know there's a fire just beyond you a little bit and your house is here.
Yeah.
You wonder if it's going to survive it or not. You got to get out, and am I going to lose everything or not? It must be a terrible feeling.
Yeah. I know they had a fire back across the mountain here out my back door. I don't know, back. It's been less than a year, but I can't remember exactly when it was. And I could sit out here and watch the flames from it, and I thought, my goodness, all it'd take a good puff of wind to send it down that mountain, and it'd be in my backyard.
Yeah.
And that's not a good feeling, but they got that out pretty quick up there, which I was glad. So.
Yeah, I hope they
and
get
so we
that.
want to say hats off to all our firemen.
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, let's see, I've got 52 degrees on the front porch. I don't have no birthdays today, but Chuck and Susan Radford's having an anniversary, and Crystal and Shane Klein on Macedonia's having an anniversary. There's nothing on Round Hill as far as birthdays or anniversaries. And I know my husband's gone, but 44 years ago today we got married.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
44 years ago. Wow.
Yeah. But he's gone, but that's okay.
Still have a lot of fond, sweet memories, though, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Yeah,
I remember today. I mean, I remember 44 years ago today just like it was yesterday.
Where did you get married?
We got married in Gaffney. I said, well, when we're going to get married? He said, I'll come pick you up. We went and applied for our license 2 or 3 weeks before we got married. And he said, I'll come pick you up one day and we'll go get married. And that's exactly what he did.
Well, that's one way of doing it.
Yeah, and we got married, and we lived together for 42 years, 5 months, and 5 days before he passed away. So.
Well, that's a great record. That's a great record.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of folks got married in Gaffney over the years.
Yeah, yeah.
A lot of folks.
But there was a woman married us. I believe he was a Douglas. He didn't marry us, but we got married at the courthouse. He married us. I mean, a woman married us. I can't remember her name.
Judge Douglas is the one that was over in Gaffney, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I remember him.
Yeah, but he married a lot of people.
Sure did.
And ways of announcements, Round Hill Baptist Church will have Easter sunrise service at 7 o'clock Sunday. Then they'll have a breakfast to follow, and then at 9 o'clock they'll have their worship service. And they've invited the Presbyterian Church up here to join them with with their breakfast. And other than that, I don't have nothing. It's just short, sweet, and quiet.
Boy, this day and time, a lot of folks go into a lot of expense for a wedding, don't they?
Oh, my goodness, yes.
And sometimes they don't last very long, not as long as yours and mine and others.
I said weddings are all right and they're pretty, but I've just always been a simple, plain woman. I don't care for a lot of frills. I've never been one to wear a lot of makeup. As long as my hair's clean, I don't care if it's curled or not. I'm just...
That's why we like you, Brenda.
Do what?
That's why we like you. You're just one of us.
And so when it come time to get married, I told Donald, I said, no, I don't want no fancy. Let's just go somewhere and get married, and that's it. And that's what we did.
Well, good. That worked out.
Yeah.
We're not encouraging young people to do that by any stretch, but expensive weddings are not the answer to happy marriages oftentimes.
That's right. No, you don't have to have a lot of hullabaloo to be happy and live together a long time. But I would encourage people to get married.
Oh yes. It's something sacred about that. Well, listen, you have a wonderful Wednesday up there. We'll check in with you tomorrow.
You have a good one, and we'll catch you later.
Thanks. Bye-bye. Well, Gregory's over in Rutherford would like me to remind you that coming up, the big car show, May 6th. That's the first Saturday in May. Mayfest is going to be happening. And big car show at Gregory's. Registration is 8 o'clock till 10 o'clock. Judging will be at 3 o'clock. Also on May 6th, the first bike night of the year with Heart cover band, Heartbreaker. That'll be 6 until 9. Just bring your lawn chair and lay back and enjoy the music of Heartbreaker. All that's going to happen May 6th at Gregory's, the Park Lane Plaza, Rutherfordton. It can be a tough call when it comes time to provide daycare services for an aging parent or loved one. Rutherford Life Care can be just what you're looking for. Rutherford Life Care offers adults a safe and fun place during the day for medical monitoring, nutritional meals, and daily activities. Rutherford Life is licensed by the State of North Carolina Division of Aging. Call them today and let them answer questions you may have. That's 288-1697, 288-1697. Rutherford Life offers a staff of professionals who show the love and compassion that you entrust your loved ones to. That's Rutherford Life Care Services, located on Thunder Road, Spindale. Again, that phone number is 288-1697.
Dr. Josh Edgerton is the newest addition to Rutherford Surgical Associates. Dr. Edgerton is highly trained in performing laparoscopies, endoscopies, reflux surgeries, vein closure, and other surgeries. Rutherford Surgical Associates is located at 330 Highway 108, just around the corner from Rutherford Regional Medical Center. For more information about Rutherford Surgical Associates and Dr. Edgerton, call 828-286-1743 or visit myrutherfordregional.com/general surgery.
If you like the taste of the Orient, you'll love the taste at the Dragon Palace, located on U.S. Highway 74A in Spindale in the White Oaks Plaza. You know, they offer a fine dining experience with an all-day buffet loaded with delicious chicken, pork, beef, seafood, fried rice, a sushi bar, and hibachi bar with made-to-order entrees. Just walk over, tell them what you want on it, they'll fix that for you. Dine in or take out. Call 287-5707, 7 days a week. They also offer a nice private party room. I don't know if you know about that or not, but they have a private party room for work meetings or family events. The Dragon Palace has been voted 3 years in a row Best of Rutherford County. Stop in over there for a delicious meal and superb service. That's the Dragon Palace, and ask about the use of their private party room. Dragon Palace, Chinese cuisine at its finest in the White Oaks Plaza in Spindale. Now we're heading over toward Ellenboro, and Luther Gillikin is on the phone. Good morning.
Good morning to you, sir.
How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing great there. Sitting here looking through the window trying to find sunshine.
Well, it's just coming.
And
you did say
to the clouds a little bit.
You did say sunshine, not moonshine, right?
Hey, either one of them can come through the window. a lot of moonshine been sold out of the window.
I bet you know where some places are even today, don't you?
I don't know where it is. I never did keep up with them, but I'm sure there's some around somewhere. I can put you in touch with people who do know.
You know people who know people, huh?
Yeah, they don't tell me where they're at, but I know the people who do know. See, you have to know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody.
That's right. Yeah.
That's where you get things done. But we're having a good day there. It's quiet this morning, nothing going on, everything's peaceful. People just going to work, trying to get the hump day over with and be on a downhill slide. Let's see, the fire department, they didn't have one call. They had a structure fire yesterday and backed up to Sandy Bush Cliffside. So appreciate them coming up for help. But wasn't a whole lot to it. And so they just took care of that and come on back. And there wasn't anything else going on. But hey, going to have something going on down here tonight, 6 o'clock tonight. There at Bedford Church Family Life Center, going to be having a hot dog supper out there. And after the supper, they're going to be having an Easter egg hunt for the children. So the community is invited out for a good time tonight. And let's see, they're coming up the 24th of this month from 3 o'clock to 7:30 out here at the fire department. Going to be having a blood drive out there, sir. You're really encouraged to stop by there. But blood is necessary. And just stop by and give a pine glove. It won't take but a few minutes and move on right. And we always have birthday day. That's Miss Beatrice McFarland. She's having one today. And also Logan Sneed is having one. And Ben Truel. And Bobby Jenkins, she's having a birthday also. So we hope these people have a great day and enjoy their day. Jim, you have a great day up there. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Thanks, Luther. I'll see you then.
Take care now.
Bye-bye. Well, it's time for birthdays now. Birthdays and anniversaries for this 12th day of April, April 12th. If you are celebrating a birthday or anniversary, call Todd now, and we'll put you in the drawing for the cake from Granny B's, 287-3356. The entire team at Crow's Funeral Home and Cremation Services can help you with options available. They will help you find a balance between the emotional, spiritual, and financial needs of your loved one. During this time, it's important to turn to someone you can trust and depend on. Crow's Mortuary and Crow's Mortuary and Crematory has a long history of trust and dependability. Crow's Mortuary and Crematory. That's 286-2304.
If you've always wanted a truck, go to Sisk Family Ford and get the hottest selling truck on the market today. Sisk Family Ford is one of the best new and used car dealers between Asheville, Spartanburg, and Charlotte. They carry new Ford cars, new Ford trucks, SUVs. In addition to their vast inventory, Sisk Family Ford is a one-stop dealer for Ford service, Ford parts, Ford accessories, including Ford maintenance plans and warranties. Compare the rates and service and see for yourself. Sisk Family Ford, their goal is simple. They want to be the best Ford dealer in North Carolina. Come see them today. You'll be glad you did. Sisk Family Ford, 565 Oak Street, Forest City.
Farm Bureau Insurance doesn't hire celebrities to push auto coverage. We think people might like to make decisions based on service and savings, not just because that guy from that show says it's a good idea. Instead of faces you know from your TV, we offer faces you know from your neighborhood, because we're headquartered in North Carolina with local agents right in your town. That's really the only thing we want to be famous for. North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance, helping you is what we do best.
In Rutherford County, please call 287-2428.
North Carolina Farm Bureau Mutual Insurance Company, Farm Bureau Insurance of North Carolina, Inc., Southern Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company, Jackson, Mississippi, an independent licensee of the Blue Cross and Blue Shield Association.
Order your cake from Granny B's, 286-9012.
Happy
birthday. Happy birthday to Herman Hensley of Ruth. He had a birthday yesterday. He's our Be Kind To recipient today. He's 80. We wish him a happy birthday. Also celebrating today, nice folks like Ronald Dalton of Rutherfordton, Maiden McDaniel, 17 today, and Kristen Burnett, 34 over in Spindale, celebrating also today. So we wish them all a happy birthday. Now stand by. We'll find out who's going to win that cake in just a moment.
Seminar leader, businessman, and author Fred Smith writes, "One of my treasured memories comes from a donut shop in Grand Saline, Texas. There was a young farm couple sitting at the table next to mine. He was wearing coveralls and she a gingham dress. After finishing their donuts, he got up to pay the bill, and I noticed that she didn't get up to follow him. But then he came back and stood in front of her. She put her arms around his neck, and he lifted her up, revealing that she was wearing a full-body brace. He lifted her out of the chair and backed out the front door to the pickup truck, with her hanging around his neck. As he gently put her into the truck, everyone in the shop watched. No one said anything until a waitress remarked almost reverently, 'He took his vows seriously.' I know several couples like this, and it is beautiful. They have remained deeply committed to each other in spite of severe difficulties. They are models of love and fidelity. It is encouraging to see commitment to marriage vows being taken more seriously. There are hopeful signs that marriage breakups are beginning to decline after years of steady increase. We are seeing a renewed awareness of the importance of the family unit. The Bible says that a husband must love his wife as he loves himself, and the wife must respect her husband. As we put this into practice, our commitments can be maintained. This is Bill Hostler with today's Key to Confident Living.
And a big congratulations going out to Kristen Burnett today of Spindale, 34. She won the cake from Granny B's today. So we want to wish her a happy birthday. Now coming up, the third hour is next. That's the third hour of the morning wake-up call. Aren't you excited about that? I sure am. Stand by.
NCN News, I'm Tony Rixby. China's president told President Trump in a phone call today that Beijing is willing to work with Washington on ending North Korea's nuclear weapons program, but wants a peaceful solution to the escalating conflict. CBS correspondent Adriana Diaz reports both countries are wary about a North Korean holiday coming up this weekend.
President Xi said that China insists on solving the North Korea problem in a peaceful way, but is willing to keep communication and coordinate with the U.S. on this issue. So that might be a response to President Trump's assertions that the U.S. will go it alone on the North Korea issue with or without China. In this conversation, President Xi says that he wants China to be involved.
A Forsyth County representative rolling out a plan to expand Medicaid coverage in North Carolina. It's spearheaded by Representative Donnie Lambeth, the chair of both the Health and Healthcare Reform Committees. House Bill 662 would enable the State Department of Health and Human Services to create a program similar to Medicaid called Carolina Cares. Bill co-sponsor Greg Murphy.
We need this program. We need this for our citizens. We need it for our hospitals. And we need it for our state's future.
A number of teachers and parents pleading with lawmakers to pass House Bill 13. Durham Elementary School teacher Brittany Brisson tells WTVD that school districts shouldn't have to find money for their positions. If HB 13 doesn't pass, she says she'll have to go back to waiting tables.
You haven't been here, you don't know. You don't know the needs of the individual school district and the individual school. Unless you're going to get off your butt and come here and volunteer in my classroom or another teacher's classroom, you don't have a right to tell my principal and my school district how to spend their money.
The bill would give some flexibility back to school districts for implementing class size reductions, which are now required by state law. You're listening to NCN News.
This is Brian Geisinger from the ACC Sports Journal. Here's a look at what we have at ACCSports.com today. Over on the ACC Analytics tab, we break down why UNC's Justin Jackson would be the most NBA-ready draft prospect if he were, in fact, to enter the 2017 NBA Draft. Speaking of the Tar Heels, Roy Williams stopped by the David Glenn Show last week following UNC's title victory over Gonzaga. Listen to that full interview at the David Glenn tab. Several ACC teams have already hosted their spring football games, including Florida State. Check ACC Sports to get the 5 things you need to know from last Saturday in Tallahassee. Our 2017 ACC Football Recruiting Magazine is out. You can order yours online or find it at Barnes & Noble. For the latest rumors and recruiting news for the Wolfpack, Tar Heels, Demon Deacons, Blue Devils, and the rest of the ACC, make sure to check out ACCSports.com. I'm Brian Geisinger.
A wildfire on Dobson's Knob in McDowell County grew to more than 550 acres on Tuesday. A code orange air quality warning is in place today for the counties of Rutherford, Burke, McDowell, Avery, and Mitchell. They'll be in effect until at least tonight. North Carolina Forest Service spokesman Bruce McDonald told WBTV.
The concerns will be there will be some smoke in the area, so folks need to be ready for that.
The fire began over the weekend but spread quickly due to dry conditions and steep terrain. It started on private property and moved to the U.S. Forest Service land. First Lady Melania Trump has accepted damages and apologies from a British tabloid. CBS correspondent Vicky Barker has more in this report from London.
The company that owns Britain's Daily Mail has agreed to pay damages to Melania Trump over an article last summer that falsely suggested she may have once worked as an escort. The exact amount's confidential. Mrs. Trump had sued for $150 million in damages.
Americans spent more money on plastic surgery last year, according to CBS News correspondent Bill Rakoff.
The American Society of Plastic Surgeons, Dr. Alan Matarazzo, says more people are getting a little work done these days.
We are spending $16 billion annually on cosmetic surgery and minimally invasive procedures.
The most popular procedures?
Breast augmentation is probably the number one cosmetic surgical procedure. Botulinum toxin is the number one non-surgical procedure.
Bill Rakoff, CBS News.
An Associated Press survey of UN missions during the past 12 years found nearly 2,000 allegations of sexual abuse and exploitation by peacekeepers and other personnel around the world, signaling the crisis is much larger than previously known. AP found more than 300 of the allegations involved children around the world. Tony Rixby.
Get your message to the thousands. Call the WCAB Sales Department today at 287-3356.
From ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. The head of United Airlines says a full investigation is now underway into the incident in which that passenger was forcibly removed from a flight earlier this week. CEO Oscar Munoz telling ABC News in an exclusive interview the company is also confirming they're looking into the whole idea of overbooking.
Overbooking, oversold prospects is something the industry has done for a long period of time. And again, for United and our policy, we will review what that policy is and how it fits into the broader system.
As to using police on board the aircraft, he says that practice is ending now.
To remove a booked, paid, seating passenger, we can't do that.
United stock fell on Tuesday, the company losing $225 million in market value. Secretary of State Rex Tillerson meeting with Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov in Moscow right now. ABC's Terry Moran is there.
This meeting between Tillerson and Putin is significant. There is a standoff, a showdown between the United States and Russia over Syria. It shows that they're trying to work through the crisis over Syria and start building some kind of relationship on other issues. that, frankly, both countries want to do business on, most significantly the war against ISIS in Syria and around the Middle East.
A former campaign advisor to President Trump responding to reports that he was the reason for an FBI warrant looking into communications with Russian operatives. ABC News Chief Investigative Correspondent Brian Ross.
The advisor's name is Carter Page, a New York businessman who ABC News has already reported was a target of a Russian spy recruitment back in 2014. Page last week confirmed that he was under FBI scrutiny, but said he was not a spy and that any documents he gave to Russian spies who were posing as trade officials were inconsequential.
Page issuing a statement saying all this shows is how low the Obama and Clinton regime would go to suppress those who didn't agree with their foreign policy. You're listening to ABC News.
If you're a CPAP user, soap and water cleaning may leave harmful bacteria, viruses, and mold that can make you sick. That alone will keep you up at night. Until now, SoClean.com is the world's first and only automated, hands-free CPAP cleaner and sanitizer. SoClean kills 99.9% of all CPAP germs without soap, water, harsh chemicals, or even equipment disassembly. And now, you can try it risk-free for 30 days. Call 1-800-224-8181.
SoClean changed the CPAP experience for the better. My health is improved. It's simple to use, and I'm not worried about infections.
SoClean's revolutionary design makes it easy to clean your CPAP and protect you against CPAP-related illnesses. Plus, SoClean works with all popular CPAP devices to clean them in minutes. It really is that easy. Don't risk your health. Call SoClean.com now to try it risk-free for 30 days. Call 1-800-224-8181. This offer won't last. Call now. 800-224-8181. 800-224-8181.
Florida Governor Rick Scott declaring a state of emergency on Tuesday as more than 100 wildfires burn across the state. The fires have already burned more than 200,000 acres.
These fires are dangerous, and we are blessed to have such brave firefighters in Florida to rush to the aid of our communities and protect us from the flames.
Now, the fear is they're already in extremely dry conditions. There's no relief in sight. Why have so many people not filed their income taxes yet? Could be a number of reasons, and in case you're one of the late filers, you are getting a few extra days this year. Here's ABC's Jim Ryan.
The latest Treasury Department report shows that income tax filings are down more than 8% from this time last year, partly because the IRS was delayed in issuing some W-2s and 1099s. What's more,
a lot of confusion on people's part. Obamacare penalty, whether you have it or not.
Tax preparer Jim Clark says that beyond confusion and paperwork delays,
we still have lots of people that are procrastinators.
And he's expecting a rush of clients before next Tuesday. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
Now, the deadline this year is next Tuesday. That is April 18th. Last week, we had the story about the people who found the bat in a bag of lettuce. Well, this week, it's a couple who found a live scorpion inside some spinach they had bought at a giant superstore in Maryland. Initially, they thought it was a cricket, but they captured it in a water bottle, looked at it. It was, in fact, a scorpion. Giant calls it an isolated incident and says they're taking steps to make sure that it doesn't happen again. This is ABC News.
Here's a special message for those of you who owe the IRS at least $10,000 or more in back taxes. The IRS has special programs in place that could eliminate or reduce your tax debt by thousands of dollars. With a call to National Tax Helpline, you can stop the wage garnishments, levies, and tax liens. Take down the number now for the Tax Helpline. 800-425-6280. That's 800-425-6280 for free information. That's 800-425-6280.
I'm Sherry Preston, ABC News.
North Carolina Tractor Supply, your Massey Ferguson dealer in Rutherford, has some really great ideas this year. This could be the year for you to get that Massey Ferguson you've been wanting. Stop by today and see what Massey Ferguson and Phil Sheehan at North Carolina Tractor Supply have for you. Check to see if you qualify for 0% financing. Today could be your day at North Carolina Tractor Supply, Railroad Avenue, Rutherford.
Our cold front's moving on by later this afternoon, so we do have the possibility for a shower more likely toward our southern counties. We'll go partly to perhaps at times mostly cloudy. It's warm. The high temperature in the upper 70s to about 80 degrees. Behind the front tonight, mostly clear. It's cooler, and with the low humidity, the temperature should fall into the low to mid 50s. Some morning clouds on Thursday. It's mostly sunny in the afternoon. It's less humid and cooler. The high temperature in the low to mid 70s. Still comfortable for Friday. I'm Mike Mays in the North Carolina News Network Weather Center.
Mike Mays, thank you very much for that weather update here on this Wednesday morning. A wonderful Wednesday here in the foothills, hump day. 6 minutes after 8 o'clock, and we're 58 degrees currently. warming our way up to about 79. Now, everybody's interested in the Easter weekend weather. Well, starting with Friday, we have partly cloudy skies with a slight chance of some isolated thunderstorms. Going to stay around almost 80, 79, almost 80, a very light wind. Then Saturday, partly cloudy, highs around 77, light wind about 7 miles per hour, no rain there. Then on Sunday, we have a 20% chance of some isolated showers on Sunday with highs around 81. It's 81 on Sunday with southwest winds only about 9 miles per hour. Scattered isolated showers on Monday and Tuesday of next week as well. It looks like we may get through the weekend without a whole lot of rain. Just a light isolated showers throughout the period. However, there is right now an air quality alert that we need to be concerned about until 12 midnight tonight, or tomorrow night rather. Goes into effect at 12 a.m. today and goes through midnight tomorrow night. Air quality alert in effect for all of western North Carolina, upstate South Carolina, the Piedmont. The North Carolina Department of Environmental Quality in Raleigh has issued a code orange air quality action day for fire particulates, they call it, in effect until midnight tonight. An air quality action day means that fire particulates concentrations within the region may approach or exceed unhealthy conditions. For additional information, just stay tuned and contact your local radio station for information on how that might change. But we're nothing to be alarmed about unless you fall asleep laying out in the sun and out there for an extended period of time. It should not be a bother, just going and coming. All right, we got news from here and there coming up and a few comments along the way. Well, let me congratulate, first of all, Kristen Burnett of Spindale, 34, and she won the cake. If someone's already been by to pick that certificate up for her to enjoy that cake from Granny B's. And we're being kind, or be kind to person of salute today is Herman Hensley of Ruth. He turned 80 yesterday, so we want to congratulate Herman Hensley. He's now the newest member of the WCAB Be Kind to Hall of Fame. And I'm looking over on the Be Kind to board. We have an opening for tomorrow. It looks like on tomorrow, if you know somebody celebrating on the 13th tomorrow, Thursday the 13th, you call Todd now and we'll flag that date for you. And we can be kind to you or your friend all day tomorrow on the Be Kind to calendar. Now let's check in with these good folks and we'll find out what else is going on around the state.
Okay, all done with your taxes. Is there anything else I can...
I just won $1 million on this taxes paid scratch-off.
$1 million? We gotta do some tax planning. Johnson, get in here.
Sir, you asked for me?
Johnson, she just won $1 million.
The taxes are paid on top prizes.
$1 million? We're gonna need backup for this. We need Peabody.
Get Peabody.
What can I do for you, sir?
Peabody, she won $1 million on a taxes paid scratch-off.
$1 million? We should get Dixon.
Guys! Taxes are already paid on top prizes.
No taxes?
None. Zero. Zilch. Nada.
What in the world?
Yeah.
New taxes paid scratch-offs from the North Carolina Education Lottery with top prizes from $10,000 up to $1 million. You win the top prize, we pay the taxes.
Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning, including break-even prizes, range from 1 in 3.40 to 4.86. Approximate odds to win the top prizes range from 1 in 816,000 to 1.8 million. Top prize values include minimum federal and state income tax withholdings. Claimants may be subject to additional federal and state income tax and other state withholdings. Problem Gambling Helpline 877-718-5543.
Now, other stories this morning to claim our attention. We talked about this the other morning, had a headline story on this fact that someone has stopped Thomas Jefferson Classical Academy from having an organized prayer at their graduation. They've done that for years. But prayer at Thomas Jefferson Classical Academy's graduation has been a topic of discussion at the school's regular monthly board meeting for the past 2 months. At the April meeting, the board of directors agreed it would follow the law of the land. A statement was issued on behalf of the school by Thomas Jefferson Classical Academy headmaster Joe Maimone via email regarding the topic. Daily Courier is doing this story. He said, quote, "The Supreme Court has held that staff-led prayer and Bible reading in school are invalid as establishment of religion. This rule extends to prohibiting public school officials from having clerics give invocation and benedictions, prayer at graduation ceremonies," Maimone said. He goes on to say, similarly, a school policy authorizing students to elect whether to have a student invocation before varsity games, to select a student to deliver it, and to decide its content violates the Establishment Clause. The law is clear in this area. And as Thomas Jefferson Classical Academy CFA is a public school, they will follow the required ruling. Now the story goes on to say in March, student Clayton Fowler spoke to the board and requested that the prayer at the school's graduation be removed, saying it was unconstitutional. He cited the Establishment Clause in the First Amendment of the Constitution as well as the 1992 Supreme Court case Lee versus Wiseman. At the April Thomas Jefferson Classical Academy board meeting last week, under the meeting's Legal Affairs Committee, the topic was revisited. Thomas Jefferson Classical Academy Board Chairman Paula Staley alluded to the Lee versus Wiseman case, whose decision indicated that an invocation that included prayer cannot be included in the ceremony. During the recent report, Staley said that TJCA is a public school and will follow the law. The 2017 TJCA graduation will take place June 5th at the foundation at Isothermal Community College, but God will be missing in terms of a public prayer. We have one person, a student, who is opposed to it, has caused everybody else to not be included in that public prayer. Isn't that a shame that people are so afraid to have God's name ministered to a public prayer in a school graduation? They're so afraid of what might encounter when God comes into the presence. They're afraid of that, so they just outlaw him altogether. Get out of here. We don't want any part of you. We don't need you in here, God. Get out of here. We don't need you. We got some kind of unwritten law here in this Constitution clause that says we can't call on your name publicly. So that's how it is at Thomas Jefferson right now, with graduation coming up with no public prayer. Meanwhile, the board budget request includes the Rutherford County Commissioners and the Rutherford County Board of Education held a joint meeting Tuesday to hear the Board of Education's budget request for the upcoming fiscal year, and that includes $6 million increase. State restrictions, loss of federal funds, partial factors in the hike, inflexible state restrictions, a loss of federal funds, and an estimated increase in order to provide exceptional children program services and staff are all factors driving an increase in the budget request from Rutherford County Schools to the Rutherford County Commissioners. In a meeting between commissioners and the Rutherford County Board of Education on Tuesday, RCS submitted a budget required of $20,796,663. That's an increase of $6,718,517 over last year's budget. About a 47.7% increase. Commissioners also heard the budget requests from Isothermal Community College. They're submitting a budget request at a joint meeting. ICC Vice President of Administrative Services Stephen Matheny presented the college's request to the commissioners. The budget request totals $2,359,256. That represents a 5.72% increase over last year's budget. So they're trying to come to terms, all of the county commissioners trying to come to terms on all the budgetary needs of the county and how they are going to be able to handle it. Do I hear a tax increase coming? No, maybe not. Maybe not. Don't want to alarm anybody. I heard something else. I thought that might have been. Anyway, let's look further up the road there. McDowell County is experiencing a wildfire right now that's threatening 35 homes and spread to 550 acres. It was reported Sunday. None have been damaged so far. The Dobson Knob fire, as it is known, has burned 550 acres and is only 10% controlled. The fire is in a steep, rocky area near the North Cove community north of Marion, an area with a long history of wildfires. That's up there near the big plant up there, Baxter. The fire started on private property and is now burning on both private land and U.S. Forest Service land in Pisgah National Forest. The cause of the fire is under investigation. The State Air Quality Division issued an advisory about smoke in the area Tuesday. Dense smoke could blanket the North Cove, Woodlawn, and Linville Falls community. Traveling along U.S. 221 North should also expect smoke. The areas close to the public include Forest Service lands north of the Mountains to Sea Trail, Dobson Knob Road, east of North Fork of the Catawba River, south of Old Linville Road, and west of the Over Mountain Victory Trail. The Mountains to Sea Trail from North Fork of Catawba River to Old NC 105 and Dobson Knob Road also closed. So if you're traveling up that direction, 221, you may run into that kinds of situation. Lake James Lodge and assisted living facility in McDowell have been evacuated, according to radio traffic. Emergency workers had located the source of a gas leak and were working to clear the building so patients who were not transported to the hospital could return. Emergency personnel from across McDowell County were on the scene last night at Lake James Lodge, an assisted living facility on Lakeview Drive where patients have been evacuated. Details are still unclear, but information at the scene indicates this is an incident involving carbon monoxide. According to emergency radio traffic, more than 50 patients were affected by the evacuation. Some are being transported to McDowell Hospital. Emergency personnel have set up a staging area at nearby Burnett's Landing. Some roads near the incident are blocked, and the public should avoid those areas. This is a developing story, and we'll have more details as it becomes available to us. Yesterday at 128, officers from the Forest City Police Department responded to a call at 207 East Spruce Street in reference to the larceny of a motor vehicle. The car is a green 2000 Mazda Protege with the tag number of E. Edward B. Boy F. Frank, 6190. The suspect is a black male wearing a gray shirt and blue jeans. If you have any information on the sighting of this vehicle or the suspect, please call 911 or contact the Forest City Police Department at 245-5555. You may know this already. I'm not surprised to hear this, but perhaps you are. I'm not. But Lindsey Graham, Senator Lindsey Graham, is one of the most unpopular U.S. senators, according to a poll by Morning Consult. The poll shows Graham was third from the bottom with a disapproval rating of 40%. His approval rating was 46%. Tim Scott from South Carolina was 18th from the top of his approval list, according to the poll. He had an approval rating of 59% with a disapproval of only 19%. The poll shows senator with the highest approval rating is former presidential candidate Bernie Sanders. His approval rating was 75% with a disapproval of 21%. The least popular is Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell with a 47% disapproval rate. Website says it polled more than 85,000 registered voters from January to March. You can read their methodology by going to morningconsult.com. If it had Lindsey Graham and Mitch McConnell and some of the other Republicans at the top of the line as being the most popular, that story would probably not even be appearing in the papers. 20 minutes after 8 o'clock here on WCAB, and we'll get to the Sheriff's Report with Deputy Chapman in just a moment.
My mom used to always tell me no when I wanted to play games online or video chat with Nana. She said it's because we had a slow DSL connection. But then we switched to Northland, and their internet is seriously fast.
With packages starting at $29.99 per month and speeds up to 100 megabits per second, it's time you said no to slow and yes to Northland. Call 1-888-NORTHLAND or visit getnorthland.com/fast today. Limited time offer. Additional restrictions and conditions apply. See getnorthland.com/offers for details.
One of the Carolinas' leading bark mulch manufacturers is Spindell Wholesale Mulch Company. They can accommodate any mulch project you may have. They carry the single ground hardwood mulch, double ground pine bark mulch, color enriched hardwood mulch, organic topsoil, organic compost, mushroom compost, premium potting mixes, aged pine bark, and the best start garden soil. These mulches are high-quality Appalachian barks that are blended for the best performance. Spindell Wholesale Mulch, located at 325 Spindell Street in Spindell, also carries rock, stone, and gravel. Great prices, guaranteed. See them today, open Monday through Saturday. Give them a call at 287-3561.
If you've got those pests hanging around your house, no, I'm not talking about your brother-in-laws and nephews. I'm talking about the really creepy, crawly kind of bugs with all the legs and the wings and all that stuff. Well, if you got those around your house, call Go Forth Pest Control. They'll take care of that for you. Big or small, they can get rid of them all. Let me give you that phone number to call them. It's 287-3188. That's 287-3188. And they do a fabulous job of getting rid of those pests. They also do home inspection, moisture, water control, structural repairs, and waterproofing. They're professional. They're North Carolina licensed, and they offer free quotes. That's Goforth Termite and Pest Control Service. North Washington Street, Rutherfordton. 287-3188 is the phone number. Now, Deputy Chapman was on earlier with us, gave us this report, and we recorded it for broadcast at this time. Deputy?
Well, in the past 24 hours, the Rutherford County Sheriff's Office has responded to 192 calls, made 15 arrests, and currently have 211 incarcerated in the county jail. By way of incident reports, we have a Mr. Robert Lane of Forest City reported an instance of felony B&E and larceny after B&E. A Cassidy Michelle Piercy reported of Ellenboro reported an instance of felony B&E, larceny after B&E. Hardin's Drug number 2 on 221A in Forest City reported an instance of obtaining controlled substance by fraud. Mr. Ray Dean Van Dyke of Bostic reported an instance of larceny motor vehicle. Mrs. Linda Johnson White of Forest City reported an instance of damage to personal property. Drop-in number 7 on 221A, Forest City, reported an instance of obtaining property by false pretense. Sunrise Development in Ellenboro reported an instance of breaking or B&E to a motor vehicle and larceny from a vehicle. Michael Gene Green, Bostic, reported an instance of felony larceny. Looks like a Honda four-wheeler was taken from his residence. Nancy Munn of Forest City reported an instance of misdemeanor larceny. And Joanne Brooks of Bostic reported an instance of felony B&E and larceny after B&E. It's like some antique farm equipment was taken from her residence. On our arrest reports, we have a Michael Dillon Tony of Cuddles Lane in Bostic, charged with 1 count of driving while license revoked and 1 count of fictitious info to officer. So he was placed on a $500 unsecured bond. Brandon Eugene Branch, Newhouse Road in Ellenboro, was charged with, so he was served with a child support warrant, $400 bond. And Ronald Dale O'Connor, Oakland Road in Forest City, was served with true bill of indictments for felony larceny, possession of stolen goods, and habitual felon. So he was given a $10,000 secured bond. And that's all we got this morning, Jim.
NCN Sports, I'm Josh Zach. NC State football coach Dave Doran announced yesterday that tight end Pharaoh McKeever is transferring out of the program once he graduates in the spring. McKeever played wide receiver and defensive end during his career before moving to tight end in 2015. Most of his action came on special teams. In fact, he had a block punt against Notre Dame in last October's game, in which they played in hurricane conditions. It led to the only touchdown in the Wolfpack's 10-3 victory over the Fighting Irish.
So you did get your hand on the football?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I did.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, my hand was throbbing a little bit after that, too.
Oh, okay.
McKeever will be eligible to play for his new team this season. Upon graduation, he won't have to wait out any transfer rules. Gonzaga freshman center Zach Collins on Tuesday declared for the NBA draft, becoming the first one-and-done player in the program's history. The 7-foot center said he was exploring his options without hiring an agent at this time, but intends to get one at a later date. Gonzaga is still waiting to hear if Nigel Williams-Goss will return for his senior season. Lawmakers in North Carolina have filed a controversial new bill that could result in the ACC powerhouses UNC and NC State leaving the conference should it become law. WNCN reporter Bo McKinnick on the details.
House Bill 728 says if an intercollegiate athletic association boycotts North Carolina, then the UNC campuses that are a part of that conference are prohibited from extending the grant of media rights to that conference and would provide written notice they intend to leave it when those media rights expire.
Sounds like he's saying meteorites, like rocks from the sky, but media rights. Supporters of the bill say it prevents the ACC from holding the state hostage if it disagrees with the law on the books. Forbes has ranked the New York Yankees baseball's most valuable team for the 20th straight year. The financial periodical is estimating the team's net worth at $3.7 billion. At the bottom of the teams, the Tampa Bay Rays, valued at $825 billion. This is NCN Sports.
Say, do you want to unlock the secret to higher yields? If you're applying dry fertilizer, the key to better yield potential is Titan XC. New Titan XC is a unique biocatalyst that unlocks the nutrients bound up in granular fertilizers, releasing them for your crops to promote better root uptake and improved plant growth. Turn to Titan XC this spring to help you maximize the return on your dry fertilizer investment. Release more nutrition. Expect more results with Titan XC. Ask your crop production services retailer about Titan XC today.
Okay, so we're getting married this spring, so I need you to sign this prenuptial agreement.
What?
All it says is you promise to take me to Smithfield's every week for a combo platter.
Are you serious?
Honey, it's their Carolina barbecue paired with authentic Southern fried chicken.
Oh, that's the juicy bird you talk about in your sleep.
Some marriages are made in heaven. Tangy lean pulled pork and supremely good fried chicken, both on one plate.
Break away from the everyday to Smithfield's Chicken and Barbecue.
The New York Mets' feast or famine offense was in complete feast mode yesterday in Philadelphia. Yoenis Cespedes belted 3 home runs, and 2 other Mets came within a triple of the cycle in a 14-4 clobbering of the Phillies. Also in the majors, the Indians winners in their home opener in the bottom of the 10th, a 2-1 downing of the White Sox. Arizona ripped the Giants 4-3. Detroit took a 2-1 verdict over Minnesota, and the Red Sox hammered Baltimore 8-1. Washington pounded St. Louis 8-3. Florida, the same score, a laugher over the Braves 8-3. Cincinnati whipped the Pirates 6-2 in Pittsburgh, and Colorado pulled out a 3-2 verdict over San Diego. The Angels scored 3 times in the bottom of the 9th to beat Texas 6-5-10. The Astros 7-5 winners at Seattle, and Toronto absorbed its 6th straight home opening loss. Milwaukee beat the Blue Jays 4-3. Josh Zach, NCN Sports.
You know, Oakland Feed and Seed, Oakland Road in Spindale, has been part of the family for years. Your granddad, your dad, and now this generation is depending on the great inventory, excellent service, and better pricing. Listen to some of these items we need probably right about now. 10-10-10 fertilizer, $9.50 a bag. Dog food, fire and ant killer in spray and granular, flea and tick prevention, carpenter bee traps, weed killer, and so much more. Go see Scott and his team today at 770 Oakland Road, Spindale, and keep the family tradition going.
Do you need some extra money in your pocket? Try Insurance Service Associates, your local independent agent. We can shop your auto and home insurance with several companies to get you better coverage and the best rate. Insurance Service Associates at 127 East Trade Street in Forest City for auto, home, or commercial insurance. More choices, better coverage, best rate. That's Insurance Service Associates, 245-5301.
Finally. Hey, we need to be ready when the car's ready, when the luck is there. Dale Jr. finishes up front. Loss.
I think we've just been trying too hard.
I think this is the most positive race we've ever had as a team.
We can shake our head no or shake our head yes now.
Mark Caro and PRN's Garage Pass.
Attention business owners. We know that owning a business means getting things done right now. So if your right now list includes a new building, call the Right Now Company, General Steel. We can design a building for your business quickly and save you thousands of dollars. That's right, thousands. You may think General Steel only builds large projects or that you can't afford General Steel quality. Well, check these prices. How about a 40 by 60 foot building for under $22,000? Or even a 50 by 100 for under $35,000? That's right, a 5,000 square foot building for under $35,000. And these buildings all have General Steel quality. Best of all, you can still order a building and have it delivered in time to build this year. How's that for right now? So if your right now list includes a new building, call the Right Now Company, General Steel.
800-398-8309. 800-398-8309. 800-398-8309. That's 800-398-8309.
Prior to Texas, nothing had really gone right for Dale Earnhardt Jr. at the start of the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series season. It took 7 races, but by finishing 5th, Jr. collected his first top 10 in 2017.
Figured we'd get one sooner or later, but it's nice. I know our fans are really pulling for us and could have finished a little better. We'll take top 5. I'll say this about our team. With what we've been through last year and this year especially, it would have been easy for a lot of those guys to give up, not really keep pulling their weight, but we've kept motivating each other and communicating each week that, hey, we need to be ready when the car's ready. When the luck is there, we need to be ready.
Texas was also a breakthrough for teammate Jimmy Johnson as he gathered his first win of the year, which was only his second top 10.
I think we've just been trying too hard. You know, we won the championship obviously last year, and I feel like we have good cars and want to come out and be aggressive. And to dial in right at 100% is just tough to do.
When Ryan Blaney led 150 laps on Sunday, it was the first time a Wood Brothers car had led more than 100 in a single race since October 1982 at Rockingham with driver Neil Bonnet. Unfortunately, Blaney wound up a disappointed 12th place finisher.
We deserve to finish, third at worst. You think about that and are discouraged about that, but at the same time, you got to look at the positives. I think this is the most positive race we've ever had as a team.
And Goodyear has wrapped up day 1 of a tire test at Daytona with Joey Logano, Ryan Newman, Eric Jones, Danica Patrick, and Alex Bowman filling in for Hendrick Motorsports.
Wix has the perfect filter for how
Kenneth Franklin Stankowitz
drives if
Ken
drives like a
devout follower of the rules with a simple 3.4-mile commute.
Wix says no problem. Whether you have a normal everyday drive or an extreme drive or anything in between, we have the filter that'll protect your vehicle. Now, when it comes to your
string art collection,
you'll have to deal with that yourself. Wix Filters will get you there. Go to WixFilters.com to find the distributor near you.
Texas Motor Speedway passed out 30,000 of them. And during PRN's pre-race show, pit reporter Steve Richards had this question for Kurt Busch.
Do you have your Danica bobblehead? That's what I want to know.
Oh, yeah, I've got it. It's bobbling around in the motorhome. Got to have that.
Well, at least you can see the real thing, so you don't really need a bobblehead, I guess.
And she's good in those team meetings, I'll tell you. And then we're just going to bring the bobblehead in now, and we can work her own words for her. We can shake her head no or shake her head yes now. So we're in charge of her now.
Mark Garrow and PRN's Garage Pass, sponsored by Wix Filters.
For professional brake and tire service, call on Broadway Tire Service. For brakes, shocks, struts, batteries, alignments, North Carolina inspections, newer used tires, Broadway Tire carries brand name tires that give longer tire life, superior handling, and provide excellent driving performance. They also offer complete exhaust service with lifetime warranty, and of course, Broadway Tire satisfaction is always guaranteed. Bring your vehicle to the tire experts. Jacob Bradley and his trained staff are ready to assist you. Broadway Tire Service, West Main Street in 4A City, or call 245-4505.
Our cold front's moving on by later this afternoon, so we do have the possibility for a shower more likely toward our southern counties. We'll go partly to perhaps at times mostly cloudy. It's warm. The high temperature in the upper 70s to about 80 degrees. Behind the front tonight, mostly clear. It's cooler, and with the low humidity, the temperature should fall into the low to mid 50s. Some morning clouds on Thursday. It's mostly sunny in the afternoon. It's less humid and cooler. The high temperature in the low to mid 70s, still comfortable for Friday. I'm Mike Mays in the North Carolina News Network Weather Center.
We currently are at 59 degrees here under kind of cloudy skies, overcast. It should be getting some showers maybe late this afternoon, 20% chance, but a whole lot of sun perhaps. 79 for our daytime expectations. Sunday, Easter Sunday, partly cloudy with isolated showers. Highs around 81 and a 20% chance of precip. And then on Monday, partly cloudy with isolated showers, highs around 77. And then Tuesday, partly cloudy with isolated showers and highs around 73. Just a slight chance of rain throughout the weekend. We may get some isolated showers over in one part and nothing on the other part. So we'll kind of watch out for that. make your plans to be outside for the Easter weekend. Sounds pretty good. Hiding those Easter eggs. A couple of items perhaps you don't know about. Let me share this information with you. Up in Asheville, there's a man, he's pled guilty to duplicating child porn, according to the Buncombe County District Attorney's Office. John Howard Skurgetz, 51 of Candler, will serve a minimum of 14.5 years after he pled guilty to 10 counts of second-degree exploitation of a minor. 14 years. He will also have to register as a sex offender. Investigators said the North Carolina Bureau of Investigation used an undercover peer-to-peer network to connect to a computer that was distributing child porno. They identified the computer's internet service provider and got a search warrant for Skirjats. They say he confessed to possession and downloading or duplicating child porn. They caught him. Good. Down in Gainesville, Georgia, a family is grieving this morning their father who was shot and killed in front of his son. And the father was trying to help two people he thought needed help. They waved them down, and Tyler Gayton said, "We stopped thinking they needed help." So 15-year-old Gayton says his dad, Dennis, was killed thinking two stranded men needed a ride. He came up, put his head in the window, pulled out the gun, and shot him in the face. Said Tyler, "My dad grabbed it, pointed away from his body. Then the guy jerked back and shot him again." Tyler said the man tried shooting him too, but he was grazed in the neck by the bullet. Tyler's mom, Joni, was on the phone and heard the commotion. "I didn't even get to say goodbye," she said. Gainesville police say the man in a sketch released as a person of interest in last Tuesday's shooting. There are a few leads in what investigators describe as Dennis Gayton's cold-blooded murder. He was killed practically execution style in front of his son. And as someone we would deem to be extremely dangerous, and we want to take individuals off the street. Please don't hide them. I beg as a mother and a wife, I beg, please bring those people in, said Joni Gayton. The family says it needs about $3,000 for a funeral and has set up a GoFundMe account to help raise money for those expenses. You imagine the traumatic experience that son had, seeing his dad's face blown away by some hoodlum on the street, and the dad stopped to give him a hand with what they thought was a troubled automobile. He stopped to offer them help, and the man comes up for no reason, at least we don't think so at this point. For no reason, pulled a gun and shot him in the face. He shot the boy too, but fortunately he just grazed him. My. It just makes you, it makes the Good Samaritan ideal sort of go by the wayside, doesn't it? It's hard to imagine trying to help somebody and then they take advantage of you. Well, over in Raleigh, they're still working on this legalizing gay marriage, or rejecting it, in other words. A bill filed by 3 Republican lawmakers is looking to ban gay marriage in North Carolina. The Uphold Historical Marriage Act is what it's called. According to the U.S. Supreme Court, overstepped it. The Uphold Historical Marriage Act says the U.S. Supreme Court overstepped its constitutional bounds when in 2015 it struck down what was known as Amendment 1. In May 2012, more than 60% of the people in the state of North Carolina voted in favor of one-man, one-woman marriage that prohibited North Carolina from recognizing or performing same-sex marriage or civil unions. We voted against same-sex marriage. It doesn't matter. Some of these lower courts, they do it their own way. They can stop you from having a prayer at a public graduation, and then they'll let you. They try to stop you from recognizing that a man and woman should be married, not 2 men or 2 women. It's funny how the liberal thinking process goes, isn't it? We don't want you to pray in public now. That's against the Constitution, but we're going to override the Constitution and the laws of North Carolina and say that it's against the law for you to prohibit same-sex marriage. Sort of gives you a sort of feel of where the liberal stance is, doesn't it? Representative Larry Pittman of Cabarrus and Representative Michael Spacell of Beaufort and Representative Carl Ford of Cabarrus are the primary sponsors of House Bill 780. The bill says the Supreme Court not only overstepped the power in North Carolina, but also overstepped the decree of Almighty God that a man shall leave his father and his mother and hold fast to his wife, and they shall become one flesh. Genesis 2:24, if you want to read that. HB 780 would make the Supreme Court's decision on gay marriage void in North Carolina. The bill states marriages between persons of the same gender would not be valid whether conducted inside or outside the state. Now, obviously, the Democratic Party Chair Wayne Goodwin released a statement saying, quote, Republicans in the General Assembly seem to have a special talent for embarrassing themselves and our state. Instead of wasting their time on hateful, discriminatory, and clearly unconstitutional legislation, they should be working with Governor Cooper to improve our schools and cut taxes for the middle class, end quote. So it's okay. Let me get this straight in my mind. I'm trying to think this clear. It's okay for the court to overrule the state and the likes of the people in the state and say, it doesn't matter whether you believe in same-sex marriage or not, we're going to force it on you. But yet they say that we can't have a prayer at a graduation in a public school. Now, what does that say to you? Is it any wonder? Is it any wonder folks are leaving the Liberal Party and the Democrat Party by leaps and bounds and heading out of that cesspool of philosophy? It doesn't surprise me whatsoever. Doesn't surprise me whatsoever. People in America, in North Carolina, and in America are tired of the liberal, I'm going to slam it down your throat whether you like it or not philosophy. Speaking of crazy philosophies, Jim, you just had to bring that up, didn't you? Well, yeah, speaking of crazy philosophies, there's a gay student group at the university. I'm not sure I'm pronouncing the university right. Duquesne University. They are afraid that a proposed Chick-fil-A outpost could jeopardize the school's safe spaces. Chick-fil-A has a questionable history on civil rights and human rights. Lambda executive board members Nico Martini told the university student newspaper. Martini asked student government leaders to pass a resolution urging the school to reconsider Chick-fil-A as a dining option for students in the Pennsylvania Catholic school. Martini went on to tell the newspaper, quote, I think it's imperative the university chooses to do business with organizations that coincide with the university's mission and expectations they give students regarding diversity and inclusion. So far, the Student Government Association has not passed a resolution one way or the other, and with good reason. But this whiny bunch of people afraid of Chick-fil-A. Folks, you believe in this stuff? I don't make this up. I promise you I do not make this stuff up. That they're out there, and their universities are turning out people with that kind of philosophy. Not only that, but a group of students at the University of New Mexico tried to get Chick-fil-A kicked off campus because they claimed the eatery and even the sight of the bags made them feel unsafe. University of New Mexico tried to get Chick-fil-A kicked off the campus because even the sight of the bags made them feel unsafe. I don't make it up. I'm going to show it to you on the camera. See, I've got the script right here in front of me. I got the story right here from CNN News. Students started expressing to me they felt unsafe to go into their own campus union buildings. Senator Michaela Ortiz of the Associated Students of University of New Mexico goes on to say, quote, when they said they felt uncomfortable on campus, I felt it was an issue that I should bring up. Whine. Please look at this from a moral standpoint, said Brittany Amoson, a student against having Chick-fil-A on campus. Brittany says, quote, look at the kids that are here that are telling you I do not feel safe on this campus anymore because Chick-fil-A is on campus. No, they're just afraid Chick-fil-A's their moral stance is going to scare them to death. But student Tess Henderson told KRQE that her friends who work for Chick-fil-A were trained to treat each and every customer with the utmost respect, regardless of who they are. This is nothing new to the restaurant. In early 2012, as you recall, some New York University students unsuccessfully tried to keep homophobic Chick-fil-A along before petition launch, tried to get them kicked off campus for their anti-gay agenda. Students at North Carolina's Elon University successfully won their bid to eject the restaurant, with the student government voting 35-11 to ask the food vendors to replace Chick-fil-A with somebody else. The media failed to report on conservative students flocking to defend Chick-fil-A, who call their peers hypocrites. Quote, I think it's absolutely ridiculous that these liberals want free speech until it's speech against something they believe, end quote. That's what Ralph D'Elia, a senior at the University of South Florida, told them back in September. And he's right. It's absolutely ridiculous that those liberals want free speech unless it's speech against something they believe. They want free speech, but Chick-fil-A comes out, their owner comes out and says sometime back, oh, I believe in traditional marriage. Oh, I'm scared they on my campus. Oh, I'm scared to death. Please don't let them come. The petition, which was started by an assistant professor at the university, received considerable backlash. It's good. The effort failed. At almost every college, a petition was circulating. Students rushed to defend the restaurant, and as they should. These people with these safe spaces, and we gotta have some coloring books because Hillary didn't get elected president. We gotta have safe spaces because Chick-fil-A believes in traditional marriage, and these are the people coming out of colleges, universities, going to be leading our businesses and leading our universities and teaching in our schools and running for public office. These are the people that we got to be afraid of. These are the ones that scare me. Not the ones in Washington. These people that are coming out of universities and colleges with asinine, stupid mindsets like that we're scared because Chick-fil-A is on the campus. Come on, folks. 8:47. I'll be back in just a minute. The Arledge Law Firm and attorneys Gerald N. Willis, Kent Baldwin, and Martin Sherrard offer years of experience and expertise to provide a wide range of legal services, from real estate closings, Medicaid planning, asset protection, and probate, to litigation of any description. Call 287-3338 for a consultation, or visit them at 120 East Court Street in Rutherfordton. Gerald, Kent, Martin, and their staff stand ready to go to work for you.
If you suffer from foot or ankle pain, you should know there's advanced care available to you right here in Rutherford County. Dr. Jason Glover of Rutherford Orthopedics is the only fellowship-trained foot and ankle surgeon in our region. Now, what does that mean for you? It means a greater level of expertise that comes through advanced studies and research. You have options when it comes to foot and ankle care. So learn more. Visit www.myrutherfordregional.com/orthopedics.
Hi, this is John Higgins, owner and pharmacist for The Fountain at Smith's Drugs. The Fountain has recently changed to Pepsi Cola products. Did you know that Pepsi was formulated by a North Carolina pharmacist and drugstore owner? It was invented by Caleb Bradham in 1893 in Newbern, North Carolina. It was originally called Brad's Drink and then renamed Pepsi Cola in 1898. So the next time you order lunch at the Fountain with a Pepsi, know that you are drinking a North Carolina original. Come see us at the Fountain at Smith's Drugs of Forest City, 139 East Main Street.
You know, they're not going to do it, but I wish somebody from the Chick-fil-A corporate office would get a chicken suit, chicken outfit, dress up and go to these campuses, these liberal campuses, and run up and down the hallway of these fraternity houses and dormitories, knock on the door. When they come to the door, say, boo, and see what happens. I mean, they ought to scare the pants off of them. Chick-fil-A won't do that. They're nice people.
He has delighted audiences in over 30 countries. His show has been voted the best family attraction in Las Vegas. The Popovich Comedy Pet Theater is a unique blend of classic-style circus acts and the extraordinary talents of over 30 furry performers, all rescued from animal shelters. People magazine calls it genius.
It was just fantastic. It was amazing. Awesome show.
It was a lot of fun. Our daughter loved it.
He's very talented. It was so much fun.
Come enjoy this entertaining, family-friendly show April the 30th at 3 o'clock at the Foundation Performing Arts Center on the campus of Isothermal Community College. Reserve your tickets today. Call 828-286-9990 or foundationshows.org.
That's going to be a great, great show. I've been really excited about when I got the information, this whole little clip for the show. It's going to be really, really great. You need to really make sure you bring your kids and your grandkids to the show. Fantastic. Well, Bill O'Reilly's, been in the hot seat over some accusations of him paying off some women because they say he sexually harassed them. And his ratings fell somewhat, and he lost some sponsors over that. But his ratings were back up last week as news that he paid $13 million to 5 women who accused him of sexual harassment and improper conduct made headlines. The O'Reilly Factor averaged more than 3.7 million total viewers and 652,000 in the key 25 to 54 demographics last week. When compared to the same week in 2016, O'Reilly's primetime program was up 28% in total viewing and 42% in the key demographics that advertisers covered most. The O'Reilly was also the top-rated basic cable show on Friday in both total viewers with 3.8 million and in the 25-54 demographics with 759,000 viewers. Now, obviously, some of those viewers are curiosity seekers, seeing how he's handling it, if he's mentioning it at all, what he's saying about it on his show. But his numbers are back up. The positive Nielsen numbers comes in as 21st Century Fox, the parent company of Fox News, confirmed Sunday it will investigate a sexual harassment claim against a 6 and 7-year-old host. Now, the investigation follows a complaint by Wendy Walsh, a former periodic guest on the O'Reilly Factor, who phoned in a complaint to the network's workplace misconduct hotline last week. Walsh's complaint was recorded with her lawyers, former NBC contributor Lisa Bloom, and posted on YouTube. Well, O'Reilly he's lost a lot of sponsors due to that, but his ratings are still up, so the sponsors will come back. They want to be where the numbers are. But Bill O'Reilly's taking a vacation now. He's saying everyone needs a little R&R, he told viewers. O'Reilly's announcement on his Fox News Channel show last night came amid sponsored defections over a report of harassment allegations made against him. O'Reilly said he usually takes a break this time and that his travel plans were made last year. Has nothing to do with these accusations, he says, made last year. He recommended that everyone take 2 trips a year, saying everyone deserves a break. So he's going to be on vacation for a while. Now, Bill O'Reilly's made enough money with his books and his TV shows and his public appearances that he could retire today and live happily the rest of his life. He's probably not going to do that, but I just say, I don't know. As I've said to you before, I'm not a Bill O'Reilly fan. I don't watch the show except clip in, clip out once in a while. I don't like that kind of interruption where you talk over the top of your guest. I like for everybody to get their side of the story out there. But I don't like his style of interviewing, but obviously a lot of people do, or his numbers wouldn't be as great as they are. I'm not a Bill O'Reilly fan, but I don't like his public crucifixion of people because they happen to be stars. Have a wonderful, wonderful Wednesday, folks. Remember, Wednesday during the middays is Classic Country Day here on WCAB. We'll be back here tomorrow morning with Dr. Bob in the Blue Room holding office hours. We got 2 more days this week. Holy Week. Good Friday on Friday, Easter Sunday on Sunday. Remember the occasion.
NCN News, I'm Tony Brixby. A bill introduced Tuesday in the General Assembly claims the U.S. Supreme Court overstepped itself with its ruling that legalized same-sex marriage in every state. 4 House Republicans slipped in House Bill 780 just before the filing deadline. The Uphold Historical Marriage Act would direct the state government to defy the U.S. Supreme Court. Ames Simmons of Equality, North Carolina, telling WTVD.
This is